Dexter slept with me all night. Like, I could tell, too, that he missed me because he didn't even walk on my bladder once.
Aww.
He just slept in my little nook of my arm. And, like, I could tell, I think he got up, like, once to, like, go eat or something and came back and laid right back down. Just, like, he just snuggled with me all night long.
Drunk bitches be like. Drunk bitches be like. Drunk bitches be like.
Welcome to Drunk Bitches Be Like. I'm Brandy.
I'm Mindy.
And this is all about two women, a few beers, some tipsy stories, and some drunk ideas.
Welcome. Just reading from Yahoo News.
Oh, yeah, that's
the newsy
worst.
news. I know. I've been following shit which I shouldn't follow, but the thing that really annoys me is Franklin, Tennessee.
Okay.
Franklin, Tennessee is outside of Nashville. I've actually stayed there.
Okay.
It's really nice. Like
Yeah.
I contemplated moving there at one point in time because it's really fucking nice. I can't afford to live there. Couldn't afford to live there 15 years ago. Can't afford to live there now.
Nashville's expensive as shit.
Yeah, Franklin's the bougie. It's the bougie ass neighborhood outside of Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
So like 1.5 to 6 whatever $1 million homes.
Yeah.
Where Dave's Barbecue is, there's like a Mercedes dealer and a Maserati dealer.
No.
And so I can't fucking afford to live there. If those are the dealerships that you have near your house.
Yeah.
So to explain to you people, the dealerships that we have near us is a Tesla service center.
Oh, there's a Tesla service center?
Yeah, it's over on Dorothy across or before you get to.
All right. So it's
like where the party supply place is.
That's
the tent
near
supply.
issue. That's way farther away from me. I've got like a Ford dealership and a Chevy dealership.
Right. So if we just talk about like the mall area, which is central for both of us, there's like Castrucci Toyota, Castrucci Honda, Castrucci.
Yeah.
It's all Castrucci.
Yeah.
But
there's
I think they own one of everything.
Castrucci probably does. Are they the ones that just built the new one that was right there across the street next to Olive Garden?
So like
it's next to the Olive Garden.
So like
you can
down
tell
from
it's
the
fancy.
loop. Yeah. So there's the little halfy road that gets you through there. And then there's like a couple of independent used cars. No, those might even be their fucking used car lots.
Yeah.
So we have your basic ass. I think, no, Castrucci does sell Mercedes Benz. I think that's the best you're going to get.
All right. Okay.
I think that's the best you're going to get. And I only know that because I went to look at an SL something one day.
Oh my God. That's even bougie.
Oh, but this was like 10 years ago before I made enough money to actually have one. And now I'm unemployed, so I can't fucking do anything anyway. I say that like
it's
I'm
all right.
not getting
I'm employed,
an income.
but I can barely afford mine. And I only have a Mazda.
Part of me wants to go back to work just so I can have 2 paychecks for the next 11 weeks.
Oh my
11
God.
pay periods.
If I could have 2 paychecks of what I make, like, oh my God, that'd be so great.
If I had $1 million,
right?
I would buy you a nice Reliant automobile, like a cake car. Oh my God. Anyway, so Franklin, Tennessee is deciding or voting on not having Pride Week or not allowing a Pride event to happen because they're worried about the safety of the community. And when they say safety of the community, they don't mean the outside Proud Boys, whatever, same fucking thing. Proud Boys and white supremacists and neo-Nazis coming in. What they mean is that they think because of what happened in Nashville with the school shooting that the gays
All right. Wait,
are dangerous.
Okay. You're going to have to educate me here.
Oh, I'm
because
sorry.
I heard about the school shooting in Nashville, but what did the gays have to do with it?
So the school shooting was perpetrated by somebody who identified as a trans male.
Oh.
So those fuckers latched onto this.
So
and were
now
like,
that's the reason that it happened.
Like
okay.
conservatives across the country were like, see, those trans peoples are dangerous. And I was like, we have had, at the time that shooting happened, that was the 131st, and we hadn't made it out of March.
Yeah.
That was the only trans person who had committed a mass murder in like forever.
Yeah.
So the kid that shot up the grocery store in Buffalo, I think one of these mass shooters were like, I'm trans, but they were using it as like a get out of jail free insanity plea.
And they wanted to just,
Right.
Yeah.
So this person actually identified as trans male and whatever. So now Franklin, who is adjacent to Nashville, was like, we're not going to have a Pride event because look how dangerous these trans people and gay people are.
All right, this might be a sexist question and also a racist question, but was it a white trans male?
Yes. So I know where you're going, which I was like, so what you're saying is that white males are still the problem.
I mean, it seems like a common denominator.
Yes. So biological female who identified as a trans male.
Okay.
And when they came out with it, I was like, so it's still white guys?
It's still a white guy.
Still fucking white guys.
A white guy.
And we're both with white guys. Just they're mentally stable-ish.
Yeah. I mean, strongish.
I'm never going to see their name followed by taken at gunpoint.
God, I hope not.
Oh my God. They're not
probably taken at gunpoint, but not like, like the person with the gun.
arrested without incident. Oh God.
Yeah.
Isn't that always how it is? Mass shooting, arrested without incident. Dude, he's fucking white.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even need you to tell me. He's fucking white.
Otherwise, you never hear about the mass shooting until after you hear about the fact that there was a black dude shot by the cops, and then it was like, oh, this is what happened. But also, it never starts with the mass shooting.
No. So, Franklin, Tennessee is like, we're just going to shut down this pride event because the gays are dangerous.
Oh, God.
The transes are dangerous. And I commented, I didn't even go back to read the fucking comments. I just kept getting notifications like so-and-so said. And I was like, I don't want to fucking deal with this.
No,
it was
not
my
looking.
fault for stating this
Not
on
looking.
a relatively conservative page. I think it was Facebook. Maybe it was Twitter. I don't know. I need to quit responding to shit. I need to get a personal account again. Like, fuck it. I figure at this point, if you've listened to us, you know that I am practically about to stop calling man covers.
I mean,
I mean, I'm not. But
That's fair.
still. Anyway, so yeah, I commented that was like, that's funny that they want to stop this gathering. I'm guessing they've never had a committee convened to determine whether white people, particularly white men, shouldn't be allowed to gather. And the one comment I saw was like, what are you saying? And I was like, I don't even think I have to respond to this. I feel
mean-
like other people are going to take care of this for me. What I'm saying is we're a danger to society. Even I feel like when you see, I try and be extra nice when I'm out in public, particularly to people of color or black people. And I'm not doing it to be like, like
it's not
me.
patronizing.
It's not a
It's
pick
like
me
you're
or
just trying to,
patronizing.
like,
I just want to be like, I am not a danger. I am here for you.
Yeah.
If security bothers you, I will fucking white Karen them to death, but in your favor.
Yeah.
I will do whatever you need me to do. I will throw my white privilege in front of you gladly. However, I'm assuming that being a person of color and approaching white people is just like a woman being approached by men, which is like, I don't fucking know if you're going to assault me, but
Yeah,
chances are good.
I don't know you, and I don't want to have anything to do with you.
What's the analogy? You don't know which wasp is going to sting you, but if you're walking into a swarm of them, it doesn't fucking matter. You still run. So yeah, I can't believe that they're like Pride weekend should not happen because gays are dangerous. And I'm like, we haven't been outlawed yet. We
Oh my
still
God.
fucking gather for tractor pulls and
Oh,
county
God.
fairs and shit. Nobody's fucking tried to stop that.
Which, I mean, I've been to a tractor pull. It's kind of entertaining.
You
But
probably
also,
have more teeth than 25 people put together.
That is also very probably accurate. I just love that this conversation started like this since I'm staring at a Rainbow Bright bottle.
Yes. So I hijacked the conversation completely. Here's
No,
what the
you're good.
conversation is supposed to be about.
No, well-
this is Brandy Goes to Seattle 2023. So Brandy, if you guys, we'll tag or something. We'll link you back to the other ones. But Brandy had Seattle. It was Seattle last time.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Well,
it was
no.
Portland.
So
Was
I
it
went to Portland last time, and this time I went to Seattle.
Okay. Brandy's West Coast Northwest
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah, I last time I went to Portland, I have a good friend who keeps moving, and every time she moves, I go visit. And so now she's in Seattle. So I went to
Oh,
go
I know what
visit.
it was. It was 2 episodes of So What Happened in Portland?
Yeah, that's true. So last time coming back from Portland, I believe I was sitting next to a charming little boy on the plane. That was delightful. I didn't get that experience this time, but
Yeah. So wait, I want to read the text messages that I here are the text messages I got. So
okay, now I want to preface the text messages with this. So this was on day 3 of my 5-day adventure.
I know it started on April 13th, which was Thursday.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was the first day I went out there.
So on April 11th, so I told Brandy this when she came home last night, which is that Brandy and I don't hang out in inordinate amount. Like Thursdays, we know we're going to see each other most Thursdays.
darts.
But like we don't hang out necessarily unless there's an event that we're both going to.
That's
so
true.
like right now, Euchre's happening, so we see each other a lot on Tuesdays. And I told her when she got home yesterday, like we don't even hang out, but I missed you so much. Because it's not like I don't feel that I couldn't text you. I just feel like you got other shit going on and I don't have anything really important to say other than like, what are you doing? Or sending you a TikTok. I would be fine doing either of those things. I'm just like, I forget about it after I think about it.
And this is the thing. I'm so busy all the time. Like so you're not the only friend that has told me this, that they're like, well, I don't want to bother you. And I'm like, no, seriously, bother me, because like any distraction from like all the other shit that I have going on, I'm always like, oh, random TikTok. What's this? Let me take a break and go look at the TikTok. I'm in for that.
So I don't even know which one I sent you. I think I sent you sock shoe tie. It was Mama Cusses. So the last thing I sent her was on Tuesday, April 11th, and it was Mama Cusses. I don't even know how to direct you to do it because I'm not going to play it because I'm pretty sure I don't think she would come and copyright us, but it is her tagging on to different videos where somebody starts it and says it is sock, shoe, tie, and somebody goes, no, it's sock, shoe, tie, and somebody goes, it's sock, shoe, tie, and she goes, it is sock, croc, fuck your ties.
And I will say, when I was on vacation, before I saw that TikTok, I packed my fuzzy Crocs because I was like, it's going to be cold and I know we have a fire pit and I'm going to want to go out in my sweatpants at the fire pit and I'm not going to want to tie my shoes. So I packed my fuzzy Crocs, and both of my friends.
So you didn't even have to sock. You just croc.
I did. I
fuck
croc
your
Crocs.
ties.
I did have socks on for some of that though. But I did. Both of my friends commented at least once or twice about, you brought your Crocs? And I was like, hell yeah, I brought my Crocs.
Shit, if they put a Sherpa or a shearling lining in my Adidas clogs, I will also be walking around in those all winter.
Right.
I wear them when it rains because they have little like slots on them, but the water doesn't get in them.
No, they don't.
So I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
My daycare thinks that I'm insane because it is pouring down rain and I show up in Adidas clogs.
No, you know
if
what?
you don't know what they are, you have to go look them up. They're $45 of pure joy. They're ugly as fuck.
Oh no, they're terrible. They're like,
I would.
mine aren't even regular
I
Crocs.
would say that they're worse than Crocs.
Mine are off-brand Crocs from like Amazon. I
Airwalks.
think. Like they're I don't know what the fuck they are. But my cousin had some on camping once, and I was like, "That's brilliant. I need those." And like for going outside and sitting next to a fire pit, or in the morning when you just need to go outside and like walk to the coffee shop and get your coffee, like they're the best thing ever.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to walk too far in Seattle to find coffee, to be honest.
No, because my friend always picks these lovely little neighborhoods that literally everything's within walking distance.
So she's the one who lived in Portland last time, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Christy? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know who the third one was that you invited, but I'm sure we're going to hear about that. So April 13th, I don't know what time. It was 11:22 p.m. because all three of them came in at the same time. 11:22 p.m. on April 13th. This was East Coast time. So I don't know if you were in Seattle yet.
That was on Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. What did I say?
The first text that I got, and I got these in succession, 3 texts. There was no break in between them.
Oh.
The first text I got was the Spanish Armada. Beautiful. What? And then that'll make sense to me later. I needed to send it in the moment. And then also entities assholes, comma, traveling. And don't be a dick. You forgot your Oxford comma. I'm very disappointed in
sorry.
you. And then when I read it, I was like, I think that's entitled assholes traveling and don't be a dick. So yesterday we show up at Euchre and I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? And she goes, I'm gonna have to go home and think about that.
So wait, I sent you that on Thursday?
Yes.
Oh, that was the day I left. Okay. So that might have been at the airport. Wait,
Here,
what time?
Do you need to hold it?
Yeah.
11:22 p.m.
11:22 p.m.
Well, 11:22 p.m. is the last time it was time stamped, but I'm pretty sure that like if they're all sent within like 10 minutes of each other, they tam stipe them at the same time.
Oh no, I bet I sent all those right before I got on the plane. Okay.
Okay.
So I was at a wine bar at the airport before I left. which was fabulous.
In Cincinnati?
In Cincinnati.
The Covington Airport. The Cincinnati.
yeah.
No, it's Covington Airport, but we call it the Cincinnati
It's
Airport.
the Cincinnati
in Covington.
Airport that's in Kentucky. So they have a wine bar, and one of my coworkers, I literally went to work all day because I was leaving on Thursday, and my flight didn't take off till like 6:50 p.m. So I had to leave at like 3 p.m. from work and go down there. And thank God I left at 3 p.m. because my God, the traffic. People in Cincinnati do not know how to fucking drive.
Fuck no. If you guys go look at anything between 75 and 129, just go get a map. Look at follow 75 south. And when you're like, oh, I'm almost out of Kentucky or I'm almost into Kentucky, backtrack up to something called 129 and everything between 129 and going across the bridge, like actually being in Covington.
Fucking shit show.
Yeah, for all day.
All
like
day.
it's worse between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. and like 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., but it's fucked all the time.
And I thought leaving work at 3 p.m., like it takes an hour to get there. So I was like, I'll be at the airport by 4.
3 p.m. Well, I would think that 3 p.m. I will be there about 5.
Yeah. No, and you're correct because I think I parked my car at like 4:45.
Okay.
And I left work at 3.
I worked down there for too long.
Yeah, it's an hour drive. And I was like, these assholes are so terrible at driving. I was on the highway for so long, going like 15 miles an hour. And I'm like, God, I fucking hate these people.
Keeping in mind, for part of this, for most of it, it's 4 lanes. On occasion, it's 5 or 6 lanes because they build 2 lanes to get off the highway.
Oh, yeah.
So there's something called the 275 loop. There are 2 lanes to get off
the highway.
Now you have to merge at some point, which is
But also,
bad.
if you know you're not getting off on those 2 lanes, you stay as far left as fucking possible.
right.
So
No,
that-
no.
Because like
what
the
it
3
turns out
lanes,
being is
they're
that
awful.
like people are in the far left 2 lanes, and then they're like, oh shit, half a mile to 275.
And then
let me
everybody
get over.
starts
Let me get
merging.
over. Let me
Oh,
get over.
it's terrible. And people in Cincinnati, okay, when I say they're terrible drivers, it's not that they're terrible drivers. It's they're terrible mergers.
This is true.
Because they will like you're gonna get the little sports cars that are always like, I know where I'm going and I can get in between all these other cars.
No, worse, we're all not getting anywhere fast.
No.
Let me the fuck over.
Yeah. No.
You're not getting any further than me.
Nobody lets you over. You have little sports cars that are like, oh, I've got a gap. I'm going to go 4 lanes over. And then you've got like people that are just like fucking like driving in between 2 lanes. Like, oh, I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
Yeah.
And it's just insane. It's insane.
If you see an out-of-state plate on your way down 75, you know that some shit's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get stuck at a point where they can't go left or right, and they don't know where they want to go.
Oh, no, it's terrible. It is terrible. But so when I got to the airport, so one of my coworkers was telling me about the wine bar that's at Cincinnati Airport. And I was like, I've seen this wine bar a million times when I fly out of Cincinnati. But for some reason, whenever I fly out of Cincinnati, it's always like 6 a.m. in the morning. Wine bar's not open. And she was like, you're going out like in the evening. You can go to the wine bar. And I was like, yes. Yay! And I get to Cincinnati Airport.
I can pay $9 for a glass of wine.
Right. And I'm like, I'm in the wrong terminal. Like, I'm always flying out of the same terminal. I took a different airline this time and it's in a different fucking terminal. So I went completely opposite direction of the wine bar. So I was like, fuck. But as soon as I got off the escalator into my terminal, the wine bar has a little like bistro that is like their little like adjacent thing that's like, oh, we have a little like brother over here that's like a little
Aw.
tiny bar.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, cool. And it was like, I don't know, 2 gates down from my gate. So I was like, fuck yeah. So I went over there and I got my I got a wine flight and then I got a glass of wine.
You got a wine flight pre-flight?
I did. I got
Or
a wine
pre-flight wine flight?
I got a pre-flight wine flight, and they had plugs on every seat and wine. They had purse hooks underneath.
Oh
the
my
bar.
God. Purse hooks will get you
Yeah.
at least 3 stars from me every time.
That's
I don't
right.
give a shit if your shit
Yeah.
is horrible.
You have a purse hook, it's like solid.
Blind Bob's Dayton, Ohio, put in some fucking purse hooks around your fucking bar.
Oh yeah, no, purse hooks are the best. So they had purse hooks. They had outlets at every seat. I was like, I'm in.
Oh, when you say plugs, you mean outlets,
Like
not
outlets. Yeah,
it's like
not
plugs.
Yeah, no, they had outlets.
In case you spill something,
No.
you can just pop it and drain
No.
it away.
So I got to pop up my laptop. I had my purse hook. I was like, I'm solid. I got
How
a
long
wine
was it
flight.
before your flight?
I probably had about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And
You were at the right terminal.
I was at the right terminal.
You weren't at something that said OH.
No. And I was only like 2 gates away. And I was
Okay,
like,
cool deal.
fabulous. But I also, so I had upgraded my flights to first class
Smart.
because I booked these flights like a year ago. And then I got a bonus in the summer and I was like, oh, extra money. I'm going to upgrade.
Shit, yeah. Nobody wants to be in economy for 4 or 5 hours.
Right. Well,
6, 7. I don't know how long
so
it takes.
I got to pre-order my food because they served dinner on the flight.
Nice.
So I was a little worried because they had 3 options for dinner. They had a cheese plate, which I'm like, that's not dinner. They had ravioli that was like stuffed raviolis that had ricotta cheese in it, which I can't eat ricotta cheese because it'll make me vomit. So I was like, nope. And
Like texture or just like
no, like the actual flavor
Yeah.
taste. I don't know what it is, but ricotta cheese, me don't get along. So I was like, all right, can't do that. And then they had jerk chicken, which it said it was roast chicken with jerk sauce on it, and it had
fine,
cilantro.
but you might have a spicy butthole.
Well, my thing is I'm like, I don't jerk sauce. So I'm like, why do they make everything so spicy? Because like the last flight I went on that you got food options, it was like curry everything. And I was
What-
like,
okay,
don't-
I need to know what part of this was kosher.
well, that's the thing. I'm like, I don't understand.
Oh, you know what? Hey, pro tip, always ask for a kosher meal.
Well, that's the thing. That was the only 3 they had. So I was like, okay. So I ordered the jerk chicken, hoping that maybe I would like the jerk sauce. But also, I was very skeptical. So while I was at the wine bar, they had this pesto.
Maybe it's more pineapple-y.
I mean, well, I don't remember.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, I'm at the wine bar, and on their menu, they had this like grilled chicken sandwich that had like tomato and pesto and avocado. And I was like, that sounds delicious.
I would love that, except for the fact that we have found out through our years of dating and marriage that I like pesto sauce. Pesto sauce hates me.
Oh, see?
I would just belch with indigestion the whole fucking time and like be blowing pesto sauce at somebody.
I was so excited. So I ordered a grilled chicken pesto sandwich with my wine flight, and then I got another glass of wine while I'm working on my thing. Because, I mean, the wine flight, let's be honest, it's an airport bar. And so their wine flight was like itty bitty ounces. It was like 1 ounce of each
they're
glass.
like, I was going to say like 1.5 ounces. They're pouring it
Yeah.
like they've got metered
They've
bottles.
got the metered bottles. And there was only 3 in the flight. So, yeah.
That's bullshit. Come
Yeah.
to Star City in Miamisburg, and we will show you what a flight is.
Right? So I was like, okay. So I finished my flight before my meal even came out, and I looked at the wine list, and I was like, oh, you've got a Carmenere. I want a Carmenere. Yeah, okay. So give me a glass of that. And my food still hadn't come out, and I was almost done with my Carmenere, and then they're like, oh, well, did you? And I was like, I'm gonna have to leave for my gate soon, though. And they're like, oh, we have wine to go, and I was like, you do? And they're like, yeah, we started during
You got
COVID.
roadies? I mean,
Yeah.
Sky East?
Right?
Sky East?
You can't take it on the plane.
Oh.
You can't take it on the plane because that's a whole different liquor license thing. But they were like, it's kind of like
That's some
Dora.
bullshit.
Oh no, well, it's kind of like Dora. And they're like, yeah, you can take it throughout the terminal so that you can take a glass of wine with you to your terminal. You can sit at your gate.
So you're like, I'm not going to board with my zone.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stand back and chug
Right.
this shit because my seat's waiting.
right?
I got all the
I got-
baggage room
I
I,
got
could
all the
ever want
things.
in first class.
So I was like, all right, cool. So like I got another glass of wine and I was like, can I get this one to go? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, fantastic. So then I had a glass to go. And like I walked to my gate after I finished my meal and my other glasses of wine.
You think that they knew you were service people because service people are always nicer to service people.
Oh yeah, they totally. Yeah, it was definitely. Yeah, and also I knew about the wine when I was asking about it because like they gave me the wine list. And I was like, okay, like I like these, but I also like you've got a Carmenere over here. You've got like this over here. I was like, oh, you've got a Chianti, a reserve. This sounds really yummy. And he was like, oh, that's a good choice. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
I'm bougie as fuck.
Thank you. So yeah, I ended up spending like $75 before I left the fucking airport. But it was delicious. And then I got on the flight and they like immediately served dinner. And I was like, oh, fuck, I just ate. But then they served me my dinner and I tried it and I was like, oh my God, it was delicious.
Fantastic.
Like the food was amazing, like amazing food. And I was like, this is not right. But like when you first get on the flight, because I was in first class and this is like bougie as shit.
You're like flipping your hair over your shoulders.
Oh,
like,
well, they came over.
hi, poor people. Was it Jim Gaffigan or something like, hi, poor people, peasants?
Well, okay, so I've been on other flights in first class where they like start serving you drinks first.
Yeah.
Like even before you take off. They did not do that. But like I got on my flight and I was just sitting there. Yep. No. I was like, all right. So I sat on there. And then as soon as we took off though, as soon as we got to like the flight attendant started serving you, they just brought you warm nuts when they asked you for your drink order. And I was like, okay.
If somebody came up and asked you if you want warm nuts in any other situation,
I
you'd be like,
mean-
no. What?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm very picky about nuts because I haven't.
I'm sorry.
I know this is gonna sound
I'm gonna
real
be a
bad.
child through the whole thing. Go ahead.
I've never really liked, I like peanuts, right? But like other nuts and things, I don't really like. So she brought me a little thing of warm nuts and it was peanuts, almonds, and pecans. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I just took it because I was trying to be polite because I was like, oh, nobody's given me warm nuts before. Sure. So I'm like eating out the peanuts. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll try an almond. And I was like, this is the most delicious thing I've ever had in my life. And I was like, apparently I like almonds as long as they're warmed up because they're like soft and just like, oh my God. I was like, this is like the butteriest, like just most
buttery
wonderful
soft
thing.
nut.
Oh my God. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I was like, all right, I'll try a pecan. I tried a pecan and I was like, okay, the pecan warm, better than a cold pecan. Still don't like pecans, but almonds, I'm in for a warm.
Oh, and
warm
for all of
almonds.
you that want to do pecan, fuck off.
Yeah, no, screw you.
We are north of the Mason-Dixon line. It is a pecan.
It's a pecan. So yeah, I totally like sat there and ate some warm nuts while she got me my champagne.
So wait, Brandy's from Michigan, so it's a pecan.
From Michigan, I just cheer for Michigan.
Your people are from Michigan.
I have people from Michigan.
My eye cream is gone.
Oh no. Okay. And this is not Mindy's fault because I feel like I made it seem this way. We're not from Michigan. We're all from Ohio. I just have one aunt that's from Michigan.
No, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You and your mom have very northern accents.
We do. Well, it's weird because I pick up any accent I'm around.
Yeah.
Because I had a Texan accent at one point.
That makes you weird and annoying to
Yeah.
some people.
Well, because when I moved to South Dakota, I got made fun of a lot for my Texas accent. So I lost it. And then I had a South Dakota accent. And then we moved to Ohio. And then I had an Ohio accent.
No, when I moved down south, they were like, sorry, I can do an imitation. They were like, y'all just wait. You're going to sound like us. And I was like, I have fought my entire life to not sound like you because it is possible in Ohio to have that accent. And my whole family is from Tennessee. And I also don't sound like them. So fuck off.
Yeah. Give me 2 days in any southern state and I sound like I'm from there.
The only thing I figured out when I lived in Florida is that I can tell the difference between somebody who is born and raised in the Panhandle.
Oh, and somebody who's
and
been
somebody's from Alabama and somebody's
Oh.
from Georgia and Mississippi and sometimes Louisiana. And I did not realize that all of those things sound differently.
there. Yeah.
But once you're down there for a while, you're like, you can.
I'm real curious where you'd think I was from then when I develop one because like I went to North Carolina for a week.
You sound like you're from Upper Ohio.
Okay.
You sound like Upper Ohio, Lower Michigan.
I know, but like when I come back from like North Carolina or
Chicago-ish.
something and I have my southern accent, I wonder where you would think I was from. Because like my Texas accent comes out and then like I adopt some of the cadence from like wherever I'm visiting.
No, I have news for you. Even my y'all, because I do use y'all. My dad used to be like, y'all, us all, they all, you'ns, us'ns, we'ns. Every time when we were going to Tennessee, that was his favorite thing. But I do still have a y'all.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's just not y'all.
no. But like I get
I'm more like Florence, y'all. You guys are going to have to look that up. I'm more like Florence, y'all.
I get like super deep southern accents whenever I visit the South. And I'm going to Houston for a week.
I cannot.
So be prepared.
I could, but I cannot. So I don't mean to make. So when you are raised in, this is a fucking sorry, I did this last time. This is going to end up being 2 fucking
It's
shows.
fine.
When I have lived in those places that are south, I try hard not to because I am from the land of broadcast
Yeah.
voices.
Right.
It is. So they don't want you to sound like you are from Minnesota. They don't want you to sound like you are from Michigan
You
or
need to have a
Chicago. You
neutral
need to
accent.
have a basically middle Ohio accent to operate. And there's nothing funnier than being in Panama City, Florida and turning on the news and having people sound like you.
Yeah.
When nobody else around you sounds like you.
Yep.
But I 100% just can't do it because for me to take on a Southern accent sounds lazy.
So
I'm not saying people with Southern accents are lazy at how they speak. I'm just saying when you speak like I do and you slip into a Southern accent, it's because you are not trying to maintain your diction.
Oh, no, it is because when I used to work at 3 a.m. in the morning, every once in a while when I was, I used to have to count down from 10 a lot. This sounds weird.
What?
Oh yeah. Well, I was a director, and you have to count down to the show.
I'm like looking like, how would you count money down from 10?
I'm on a headset. I'm very good at counting 10 seconds down, and I can do it almost exactly to the second.
Okay. When we do our collaboration with, I don't know, this is going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Rev Geek from TikTok, we're going to have him on because he's from the area that we're in, but he is formerly a radio station DJ.
Oh, yeah.
From the time of, I think maybe carts and shit. So he also has to know how to count down, and he has to know how to hit no, I forget what it's called.
Yeah. So when
You
you're
have to hit the something, like you can talk up until.
Yeah, when you start playing a track, it gives you a like time when they start singing, and you have to like count down to when they start singing. So like when you start playing a track, it'll say like, okay, you got 20 seconds before you start it, like that goes into the track. So like you can start it, but you have 20 seconds to finish talking whatever you're doing before it like actually starts playing the music or whatever else. So yeah, there's definitely a countdown that he has to be very aware of, like when he goes into it. So I have a countdown when I was going to the shows that I had to like absolutely like, it was like a countdown from 10. Okay. I'd count everybody down. So that way I knew exactly when you were on. And like, I mean, at 4:30 in the morning when I got there at 3 a.m. and I was super tired, like for some reason my countdown started sounding very Southern. And I would have a master control operator get on my headset after I counted us down and we were in the show and we were into things. And they'd be like, so could you say 9 again? And I'm like, no.
No, my mom. So she spent summers in Tennessee, and then she loves to be in Tennessee. And there are certain things that even I had to consciously change because I was raised with somebody who said, It didn't matter whether she was talking about herself or the one in her head. It was an I was like, this is horrible. She says iron. I don't know what that is. I'm like, do you iron something? And she was like, I know I don't exactly pronounce it like you would if you're in England, but she says, are you going to iron it? I was like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I know what she's saying, but fighting certain things that she said.
Oh, yeah.
Because I heard it my whole life, but I don't like the sound of it.
Well,
it's
that's the thing.
fine. I don't hold it against anybody. I don't lower your IQ points unless you're flying a Trump flag and you sound like that.
Well,
then we're like
when you
taking a lot
say
off.
those things for so long in your life, and like when you're tired and you're sleepy, that shit comes out. It comes out strong.
I am all overriding it. I have taken us down a rabbit hole. First class.
Oh, yeah.
Got your food.
Got food. Fantastic. And then I was like, all right, I have a project I had to finish for work. So I had my laptop.
Yeah,
I was all
project you had
ready
to
to go.
finish for us.
I had a project I had to finish for us. I've got all the things. And I was like, all right, I need to work because I've got it was a like, okay. So on the way there on my schedule, it said it was a 5-hour flight. On the way back, it's a 4.5-hour flight, which I'm assuming that's because of slipstreams and whatever
Were they
else.
like
And
one way or one no stop?
I had direct flights. So
Nice.
and I did that purposefully and that's the only reason I upgraded.
How many times do you have to pee?
I only had to pee like twice.
Oh, I feel like I would spend most of my time peeing.
Well, and so this is why I strategically place myself where I'm at, because I sit in the front row, which sucks because you can't like store your stuff because you don't have a seat in front of you. So you have to put everything in the overhead baggage. But the best part about it is I like to have a window seat. But if you're in the front row,
Oh, yeah. Then it's like having an aisle seat.
yeah, because the person next to you is far enough back, you've got enough room to get around them without having to like make people sit up.
I panic
Yeah.
when I'm in the window seat, but not, there are so many reasons for it. Number one, I don't like to feel like I can't get out of someplace at will.
Okay.
So it very much bothers me. Like if I'm someplace and like people have scooted their fucking bar stools so close to me that like I have to stand up, back up, and like I will panic.
Yeah.
But also I have to pee so often. Like I have to pee before we leave. I hate it when they're like, we're going to taxi the runway. I have to pee.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I feel like it's the nervousness too that gets to you, and you're like, oh my God, now I got to pee. So that's why I like having that seat, because I'm like, I like the window seat, but I also like being able to get out because I like I'm going to have to pee multiple times during the flight, especially when it's over. Like if it's over a 2-hour flight, like I'm going to have to pee at least once during the flight. Like it's just, so I like that seat because I like having the window also because I feel like when you're in the window seat, and I've seen the debates online about this, But if you're in the window seat, I have control of the fucking like up and down window shield thing.
I mean, I'm asleep, so I don't care.
Right. So my thing is like people have debated this because they're like, oh, well, if I'm in the aisle seat, but I want the like sunlight. And I'm like, no. If I'm in the window seat and I paid for the window seat, like one, if I'm going to go to sleep, I want to put that shit down so I can lean on the side of the plane so I can sleep.
Right. And majority rules. If
Yeah.
the window is more on your side than the side in front of or
Yeah.
behind you, it's
No.
your window.
I'm sorry, it's your window. So I'm like, I like being in control of the window shade. Now, when you're taking off and landing, like they ask you to put it up and stuff, and that's fine, whatever. But I'm like, if you're taking an early morning flight and it's sunrise and all of a sudden the sun's blaring in and I don't want that shit on there because I'm working on my computer, I'm going to put the shade down. And I'm sorry if you want sunlight. I don't care.
Right.
Like I want to have control of the shade. So I like the window seat so that I can
I am
control that
saving
shit.
you from cancer.
Yeah, that's right. I'm like, I don't want it. So I like having the window seat, but also I know I need to pee a lot. So on the rare occasions that I
Sorry,
have,
2 times in 5 hours is not a lot.
yeah, well, that's my thing. Well, I was also drinking champagne, so like that dehydrates you. So also when you're flying, alcohol hits you twice as hard, which you find out when you land, not when you're in the air.
Christy's picking you up like, come on, you fucking drunk.
Yeah. She picked me up and I'm like, I was standing up and there was a girl next to me in first class and like we didn't talk because I don't like talking to people. I don't want to talk to you.
Oh yeah, that's why you should always have like just the ear pods don't
Yeah.
work. I mean, they do if you tuck your hair behind your ears.
Right.
You need to have prominently colored earbuds.
Oh yeah. Or headphones.
And then just point at them like, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem too, though, because then the like airline attendant, when they come and ask you things, I'm like, I have to pull things out of my ears. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Although on the way there, the airline attendant, she was super like attendant. Like she was on it. Every time my glass was like even the closest thing to being empty, she's like, would you like more bubbles? And I'm like, yeah, sure. At one point, I literally asked her, I was like, no, can I get some like seltzer water? And she was like, okay.
Can
And
I get different bubbles?
yeah, and she gave me that, and then next time she came by, I was like, okay, can I get champagne and seltzer bubbles? She was like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, great. So she was just like on it the entire time.
I'm sorry, you sound like me when when Honey and I stayed at like a fancy ass hotel in Indianapolis, and I was like, where are you taking my luggage? But also, you would ask for things. I'm like, can I get? And they're like, yes, of
Yeah,
course.
of
Let somebody up. Do you just want 2 sets of towels, or would you
Yeah.
like 4 sets of towels? I would like all the towels. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
How many can he carry?
Right?
I could just ask for shit. Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. No.
So, if you're at a Holiday Inn, they are bringing you new towels.
On the way
you can
there,
come down.
it was like Johnny on the spot, like anything I
Nice.
needed. It was fantastic. Although towards the end of the flight, because I'd had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the bubbles.
It was like 1 an hour.
Well, which isn't bad, but also in the plane.
Right.
Yeah. Altitude.
And you had a flight, and,
Yeah.
a full and a roadie flight.
So I had 2 glasses. Yeah. So it was.
Sorry, terminally.
But I also knew when I was getting there, it was going to be stupid late and I had a ride. So I was like, meh, whatever. But also I stood up.
First night with Chrissy.
I almost lost our entire podcast. Oh, because I got it out.
No, not again.
Yeah. I got it out to try and edit it. And I have all of our stuff on a separate hard drive, right? So I was going through my bag because
It's like hard drive, smart drive.
yeah. Well, the plug wasn't working. And so I was like, okay, so my work computer has a much more powerful plug.
Yeah.
Because it's a much more powerful computer than my personal computer. And I had both computers with me. I wasn't planning on taking both of them, but then at the last minute, I had extra work that I had to do for work. So I was like, all right, they're both coming. So I had to rearrange my bags at work, and there's like still some of my shit sitting at my desk at work that I had to take out of the bag so that I could fit more things, which is just a sad commentary on my life. But I'm like, okay, so I couldn't plug in my work computer, and I tried, and it wouldn't work. And so then I even tried my like plug for my other computer because it's a lesser wattage, but I was like, well, it might work. It didn't work. And so then I was going to try my regular computer and like nothing was working. And the flight attendant's like, oh, you just got to like jiggle it. And I'm like, okay.
You jiggle it.
Yeah. So then I was like, all right, fuck this. I watched a free movie on my phone. But in the meantime, I had like taken all these things out of my bag. And so I had stuff sitting next to my lap and stuff like that. And so when I got up to leave the plane, like I tried to throw everything together. And like before we got off the plane, when we were getting ready to land, the flight attendant comes over. She's like, oh, I've got to put all your stuff up. And I'm like, just trying to throw everything in there. She took both of my bags and I'm just sitting in the like seat going, okay. And then like I didn't have my phone, nothing, because I just threw everything in the back.
No.
So she took everything up, put it up. And so then like we land and we're getting everything down and we're standing there ready to go. And I'm the first person like ready to walk off the plane.
Like, hell yeah.
And like I'm still talking to the girl next to me because, you know, I got chatty after 5 glasses of or 5 cans
You know, she
of
was hating
bubbly.
life at
Yeah.
that point.
So
She's
I'm
like, fuck, I don't want to talk to anybody.
I know, right? And I'm like,
Drunk
okay.
bitch.
So we're talking to each other. And then I look over at my seat and our hard drive is literally sitting on our seat. And I was like, oh, fuck. And so I grabbed it and I put it in my bag and I'm like, okay. And
You
then,
guys notice this just became our trip with
Yeah.
our seat? I didn't go.
and then we immediately deplaned. And I was like, okay, cool. And then we get back to the Airbnb and I'm like unpacking stuff the next day. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I lost my dongle. Which anybody who
sorry.
speaks computer language knows what that
R.I.P. your
is.
dongle.
I know. Well, it also the dongle that I had that I lost, it was just a small one. All it had was one HDMI input and one USB-A input, but it had the USB-A input had my mouse dongle in it.
Oh.
So my mouse didn't work anymore. So I
now
had
you're
a
just
mouse,
having to, like-
and I have So the next morning when
Trackpads
I
suck.
so when I woke up the next morning, I'm sitting there trying to like finish my work because I had legitimate work to do that I was going to do on the plane, and then I just
Yeah.
started drinking when I figured out I couldn't do anything, and so I was like, oh fuck, I can't. Okay, so the next morning I woke up at like 5:30 a.m. because I'm still in Ohio time and we're in Seattle. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just get some work done. And I go out there and I'm like, this son of a bitch, I can't like.
What you guys didn't see is I'm motioning to her, like, if you've ever had to use the trackpad where you're like, slide up. Oh, fuck.
Yep,
around.
yep, yep. Yeah.
Double.
Oh shit. Yeah. No. And the clickers are all
Why did you
off,
select that?
and you're like, God damn it. So I was sitting there like doing this, and the next morning, me and my friend that came with me from Ohio, she flew in from a different city though. So like we happened to land at like the same time. We go to the Airbnb. The next morning we wake up and I'm working and I'm just pissed off because I don't have a mouse because I left my dongle on the fucking plane. And she was like, do you need anything? And I was like, we had already walked to a coffee shop at like 7 a.m. because we're both awake, got coffee, come back. And I'm like, we can't do anything yet. Nothing's open. And like also
Where
our
did your
in
friend
Seattle,
come from? Sorry.
Columbus.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay. So she flew in separately.
Yeah, so she flew in separately from Columbus. I flew in from Cincinnati, but it was funny because our flights actually landed like a minute apart.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So like Christy didn't have to, did
Yeah.
Christy pick you up or did you Uber?
Christy picked us up, but it was really funny because we were supposed to land at like 8:59 and
So
9
sorry
p.m.
if you didn't want us using your name, Christy.
No, you're
but
fine.
Now you're part of it.
Christy, you're here. She listens to it. She'll appreciate it. But like we both landed like a half hour early, if not more.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So like we get off the plane and we're texting her and she's like, oh shit, I didn't even leave yet. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Whatever. I don't care.
There's a bar somewhere.
I'm like, I still got bag. I checked a bag, like, you know, because since I
First
upgraded,
class.
I got a free checked bag. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm checking my bag. Well, and my friend who came from Columbus, she didn't check a bag or anything. She had to carry on. So she's like ready to go as soon as she gets to the airport. And I'm like, we got to wait for my bag. And I'm like chilling. So yeah, we got there. All was good. I lost my mouse though. But so the next morning after we got coffee, I'm sitting there going, I can't do this. Because the work that I had to do was like, it needed to be done. And I had enough time on the plane to finish it. But since I couldn't work on the plane because the outlet didn't work and my laptop fucking died, I couldn't finish it. So I was like, I need to get this done because it needs to be done by Monday. And I would prefer to get it done sooner than later.
Right.
So I'm sitting there trying to work. And like my friend from Columbus, she's sitting there, she's like up and ready to go. And she's like, oh, did you do this? And I'm like,
Shut the fuck up.
I'm like, all right, first
Oh,
of
wait.
all,
Does she listen?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
Shut the fuck up.
but I'm like, I need to finish this, but also like we can't do anything anyway because nothing's open. And also Christy's not up because it's like 8:00 in the morning, like Seattle time. And she's not going to go till like 9:30, 10 because it's weekend. She's off, but she's going to sleep in. So I'm like, fuck. And so I'm looking up things around us. And like I said, she lives in these cute little communities that has everything within walking distance. Well, we had gone to the grocery store and gotten some food. There's also a CVS and a Walgreens. I'm like, all right, CVS, Walgreens might have something. Walgreens was like literally a block away. So I'm looking up Walgreens and Mice and whatever else. They have them. None of them were in stock in the Walgreens that was there.
Sorry. Does Walgreens have mice?
They do. So then I looked up CVS and it was like a little bit further away. It was like 4 blocks up north, which was uphill. But they had one in stock. They sold a bunch online, but they had one in stock. And I was like, I know there's one in stock at this store. So she's like asking me all these things. And I was like, all right, I need to go to CVS and I need to get a mouse because I can't, like, this is so inefficient, like me doing this with the mouse pad. I can't do it. It's like driving me insane. And she was like, well, why don't you keep working and I'll go get it for you? And I'm like, okay. So I gave her my debit card and I'm like, here, go buy me the mouse. Like, you'll go out and get that and I'll still work and whatever else. So she leaves and I'm working. She comes back and she was in a panic. She walks in the door and she goes, oh, thank God. And I'm like, what? And I look over and I see my debit card still sitting on the counter. And I'm like,
shit.
And I was like, you forgot to take my debit card, didn't you? And she goes, yes. And I thought I lost it. I was like, oh, no. She was like, I got to the counter and I didn't have it.
Like, want to text you about it.
She was like, I'm going to buy this. And I hope to God I know I can find it on the way home. I don't know. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, you didn't lose it, but like, I'll buy you something later. Yeah. So I got my mouse and then I got a lot of it done and then I got some feedback. And then the next morning I got up and worked again because every morning I was there, I kept waking up at like 5:36 a.m.
How are your allergies out there?
Well, they weren't terrible, but also terrible.
Oh, okay.
So my one friend from Columbus, she's a landscape architect. She's fabulous at what she does. She knows all of the plants and the seasons and the things that they're supposed to be growing. So she wanted to go to all the parks. So we were around a lot of plants.
Nice.
And I'm allergic to all the plants.
Does she know your face?
Yes, but I took a lot of allergy pills. So what would happen is we would get up stupid early. We'd go get coffee. I would work on my computer for a couple hours.
You would take drugs.
I would take drugs and work on my computer, and she would sit there and like be antsy about us going. And then we would finally leave the house and we would go somewhere lots of planty. And there'd be all the plants and all the places. We went to a few different parks. We went to Arboretum. Like, we did all the things. And then like halfway through the day, I'd be like, okay, is there a brewery or a winery around that we can go sit? Are we getting sushi for lunch? What's happening? So then we would like spend the rest of the day doing that. And then Christy, my friend who lives in Seattle, she's like, wide awake for the rest of the night because she's living in Seattle.
Right.
So there was a couple of nights. There was one night where my friend from Columbus, she stayed in the Airbnb and she like took a nap and like we went and sat by a fireplace and had like 2 bottles of wine. Which she has a fabulous rooftop. Her apartment has this like rooftop thing.
Yeah.
That has like gas fireplaces and couches and things. And so one of the nights that was nice out, we went up and sat out there, which was fabulous. I loved it. So we just sat there and drank a couple bottles of wine and like had conversation and it was good. And then we went to a couple of bars while we were there, went to some breweries. We took a ferry one night.
Nice.
Well, one night. I shouldn't say one night. There was one day we went to like Pike Place, which is this like super touristy area in Seattle where they throw the fish, which I'm sorry, the fish throwing thing.
So that's where the coffee name comes from. The Starbucks Pike Place.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Pike
Sad
Place.
that's the only way I've ever heard of it.
Huge. Pike Place is huge. It's like blocks on blocks on blocks. And it's all these restaurants and different like shopping experiences and all this stuff. The fish throwing thing is like this one little corner of it.
Yeah, they used to have like a reality show about that shit.
Yeah, it's not as gorgeous as you would think it is. It's like this one little tiny corner. And like these dudes, like they have a schedule now because like tourists come to see them throw the fish.
Nobody offered to throw you a fish?
No. So they're like, okay, well, I guess it's time to throw the fish. Look at your watch. And like one of them comes around the counter and they go out and like they sell fish and stuff that you can buy.
Right.
And they're like just a genuine like.
But what they used
seller.
to do organically, they now do on purpose.
Yeah. And so it was like
trained puppets.
Yeah. And there's people there with like their
Puppets?
cameras
Puppies.
and shit. And it's like everybody gathers around as soon as they start hollering or whatever. And then they toss a giant fish over the counter to the dude. He tosses it back to the guy behind the counter. He tosses it back to the dude out front. And I'm like, and
It's just one fucking sturgeon
Yeah.
they keep throwing back and
well,
forth.
that's the thing. And like my friend from Columbus was like, do they sell that fish? And Christy's like, no, they do not sell that fish. It's probably the same fish. They just keep throwing back and forth. So it's like, okay, so it's kind of a touristy thing now. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, it just smells a lot like fish there. And I'm like, I'm ready to go. So we took a ferry across the sound over to the island.
So we've talked about sounds before. When I lived
Yeah.
in Panama City, there's a sound in front of Navarre, which is there to keep commercial shipping vessels out of a certain area.
Okay.
But also it is a breaker from, I don't think they have to worry about this in Seattle except for like typhoons and shit. Typhoons are West Coast. Anyway, in Florida, it's also to help break a hurricane fall. I don't know what the hell they use it for in Seattle. I'm
I don't
assuming
know.
just to keep commercial shipping vessels out of certain areas.
Yeah, I would guess that. So they which I felt a little bad about. I'm
Sorry.
backtracking for a minute. While we were at Pike Place, we sat and had lunch, and I looked out the window and I was like, "Hey, that's my ship." Norwegian Cruise Line has a dock right there,
Yeah?
and Norwegian Bliss is the ship that I'm cruising on in October to Alaska.
I'm sorry. Your cat just threw himself down on the ground and it shook the ground.
No, yeah, he's chubby. He's like, pay attention to me. I have a bell on.
It's just like thunk. And I was like, what was that little, did he jump down from something? No, he flopped.
He
Anyway.
just flopped.
So anyway, you were like, that's my ship.
But yeah, so that was my cruise ship. But also I was like, oh, cool. So I got to see a preview of my ship I'm going on to Alaska in October. But also there are people like,
yeah, you're going with Kat and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to have her on.
they're protesting cruise ships at Pike Place. Like there was a whole group of people that were like all
Does
organized.
not
in signs.
surprise me that something
Yeah.
in Seattle
And
is
there were
protesting
there
something.
were people in like whale costumes and stuff and handing out flyers, and it had like all these reasons on why you shouldn't take a cruise ship. And like my friend looked at me and she was like, "Does this deter you from taking your cruise?" And I was like, "Absolutely not."
No, I fucking paid for it already.
Yeah, it's already done. I'm already paid. It's like it's in the bag.
I'm
man.
not getting my money back.
Yeah, I'm done. It's what it is. So I saw our cruise ship, but then we got on a ferry that goes across the sound. Well, and apparently there's no bridge that goes over to this island. So like to get to this island, the only way to do it is on the ferry. And so like it's got the upper level where the people get on, and then it's got the lower level where the cars drive on, and like you transport your car over. Well, so we got on there about 1:15 was the ferry we took over. And then we went over to a couple wineries, which was fantastic. The first winery was good. It was okay. The second winery we went to, fantastic. The wine was amazing. And they had free shipping home if you bought a 6-pack or a 12-pack.
Nice.
So I have some wine coming at some point.
Oh, shipping. I thought like, we're going to pay for your ferry trip back.
No, shipping is if you buy wine, they'll ship it home for you.
Every time you say ferry, I just keep hearing this song. So ferry, cross the Mersey. Sorry.
So we were
Not
like,
to you and your story, just
No.
to everybody who had to hear me sing
Fine.
that.
So we get done doing the wineries and stuff. And like we walked, like we just walked everywhere. Walking back to the ferry.
What'd your watch say? Like, what were your high steps?
Let's see here on
This is important to the people.
on
All 39 of you.
Friday when we went to the first park, which was a lot of hills and it was 22,000 something.
Nice. Did you count? Did you look at your stair?
I didn't look at the
Fine.
stair thing, although I had like, I don't know, 71 like active minutes or something stupid.
Nice.
And then on Saturday, because I complained about the walking, I had 18,200. And then on Sunday, I had to tape my toe and
Aw.
use icy hot and put my knee brace on because I was done with the walking.
This bitch might have well moved to San Francisco for all you're concerned.
I was like, I never realized Seattle was so hilly and like everything is uphill. Everything.
Sorry, Christy, I'm your bitch in the best
Everything's
possible way.
all uphill. It's fucking ridiculous.
Like, when does it go downhill?
Right?
Never.
Never. It's like every time we'd go uphill, it's like, okay, well, just remember on the way back.
No,
okay.
somehow it's not.
No, but then you'd go downhill for a second and then you'd go back uphill. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's still uphill. We came back on the ferry and we went back to get on the ferry. Like the ferries are like very on time.
Yeah.
It's like 15 after the hour. They run every hour. So it was like 1:15 we got on, 7:15 we got there like just in time to get on the ferry. And then we had to sit there for like a half an hour.
Why?
And like nobody knew. And they were like, oh, the ferries are running behind. Like,
Somebody
what's
died.
happening? Da, da, da. We're like, I have no idea.
We found a body.
But interesting thing happened while we were waiting for the half hour for the ferry. And I will say interesting in the most gross, horrible way.
I'm
ever.
going to need you to figure out what the fucking Spanish Armada
Yeah.
had to do with this. Because as far as I can tell,
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know what this. The Spanish Armada thing is still a miss for me. But so we were standing there, like not standing. I literally was sitting on the ground because I'm not standing that long. So I was like, I popped a squat on the first spot, like by the line where they were like letting you in. And I'm like, I'm going to sit here on the floor until they let me in this fucking thing. But there was a girl and a guy, and the guy had to be, and I'm being generous here, in his 30s, probably 40s. maybe 50. The girl, I was hoping she was 18, but I'm pretty sure she was more like 13.
Oh.
And she was talking to him in a way, like right next to me, where like she was telling him about some science project or math thing that was happening at school. But then also in between that, like talking to him like he was her like boyfriend.
Ew.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm very uncomfortable and I don't know if I should
I
be
call
calling
somebody?
Yeah. I was like, do I call like she seemed very like the whole thing seemed very consensual on her part and everything, but I'm like, this still seems
No, we've already
wrong.
talked about this.
Yeah,
If
it
you're-
doesn't-
I don't care.
Yeah,
So
it
like I
doesn't-
get 16
Yeah.
is the age of consent.
Yeah.
For sex in some states, 12 is the age of consent for marriage in some states, as long as your parents sign off on it. But
Yeah.
dating a 13 or 14-year-old is never consensual.
Right. And that's
Just means you've convinced them.
like I was hoping she was like older, and then we get on the boat and I like expressed this to the other people in my party. And so then they were on the same level of the boat as us, and so then they're watching too. And it was like, oh,
You guys are like fucking To Catch a Predator.
oh yeah, because we're all sitting there looking at
To
it.
Catch a Predator, Seattle.
Yeah, and then somebody in the group's like, I don't think she's 18. I think she's more like 13. And I'm like, dude, that makes it so much worse. Like, but she was talking like a 13-year-old, but also like some girls these days.
Sorry, I did
can't
not just
tell.
fart. I was trying to adjust
She's
the mic.
adjusting her microphone. There's just things
There we
turning.
go.
So I was like, okay, I don't know. And so like there's like a 40-minute trip right across the sound, and then we get in there and like she holds his hand and they like skip off the boat together, and I'm like, I don't know.
We need to call an adult. You should have taken a picture and been like, does anybody know this?
Does anybody
Put it
know
on
this
fucking
child?
next door.
So yeah, that was creepy. But then when we got home, we found out that at like 4:00 at 4:15, the 4:15 boat or whatever, apparently the propulsion system crapped out in the middle of the trip.
Oh.
So it just started floating and it drifted, and then it
They're not meant to be out.
no, it what's it called? Grounded or something?
Oh, yeah. Run aground.
It ran aground. So the boat at like 4:15, and they run extra boats like at certain times of the day, I guess when it's busy, and it was like an extra big boat, so they had a ton of cars and stuff on there. It ran aground at like 4:15, and we're finding this all out like after we're already home, like at the end of the night, like at midnight. And like, I don't know, one of my friends looked it up and they were like, oh my God, this is what happened. And this is why the boats were all delayed. Well, so it ran aground. Well, apparently the people on that boat at 4:15, they didn't get another boat out there till like 8:00 at night.
Oh, shit.
To get the people off. Still couldn't get the cars off. So the people had to abandon their cars on the fucking boat and then get on the other boat to get home or whatever.
to not be able to get home.
To not be able to get home. So like everybody just had to get on another boat to like get away from the boat that was ran aground.
Say goodbye to your cars.
Right? And just leave the cars. I'm like, what is happening? I want to know what happened to their cars. I have no idea.
I'm hoping that somebody is wealthy enough to be like, I will send my own car mover. Thank you very much.
Yeah, right? Like, it's like, are they gonna like eventually get the boat working and then like move it to somewhere and be like, okay, you have to come pick up your car now? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's an inconvenient time for me. I can't come right now.
Here's a $1.50 token.
Yeah, right. I'm like, holy shit. So yeah, it was that was an interesting trip. So we went over to some wineries and things, and that was delightful. But it was overall, it was a lovely,
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going to be, we're trying to do as much as we can. Brandy is doing some I just want it to
Turn.
there we go.
Oh,
That was really hard to do.
oh, it's because you have it on the top instead of the bottom.
I don't know what I'm doing. Look, somebody left me in charge of my own shit. Anyway, I just wanted it tilted toward me, but away from me. But you're right. I've got it. Okay. That's not right. But
Nope.
still, it's better than it was.
It feels like it's jangling now. I want to like poke it with my finger and see if it falls off.
Bing, bing, bing. Sorry. Well, you're not allowed to be around penises anymore.
I want to poke it.
Oh my God. So Brandy's going to be very busy. And now it really is dangling. Brandy's going to be very busy. I am not. Again, that is a screw turning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am not. The most that I've done, this is so bad. So I have quickly become A, bored, B, unmotivated, and C, an insomniac. in the past 6 weeks. No, are we at 6? We're at 6 weeks.
Oh
I've
my
been
God.
out of work for 6 weeks.
Okay, so my dad called me today at lunch.
It was like, has somebody got a job yet?
And I was like, "You're retired." He was like, "Yeah, you work." I'm like, "What's happening?" It's 2:00 in the afternoon, and he's just like walking to Ace Hardware down the street. And he just decided to call me, and I'm like, "I wonder if this is how Mindy is. Is like she like enjoying retirement?" 'Cause it's not
I think
retirement, but like,
obviously when I was like, we need to record before you go, and I was like, and you're like, when? And I'm like, literally any fucking time. I don't have anything to do. It's not, I took the one class that I had already planned to take. Classes are very expensive. I took a product owner and product manager, safe agile course, which what it led me to find out is, one, can I have a tissue? And two, I knew far more about it than I thought that I did. So the product that I was on, I did not think that we were following 100% everything that was going on. But apparently, the lovely woman who is our agile coach and helped us get through the past few years, part of the reason I'm having a problem going back to work is that I'm just not confident in myself.
but you're so good at things.
You lose a lot of confidence when you lose your job.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even though I kept telling my husband, I'm like, I've never been fired. Kind of. I got fired from Victoria's Secret, but I resigned. I just didn't come back in. I was like, I've never been let go from something. And he was like, they ended your product. They didn't let you go because they didn't like what you were doing.
That's true.
They just stopped making your product.
Yeah.
And your product wasn't bad. You just had no money for it anymore. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh no. So you lose a little confidence about things. So then I take this course. It's 2 days. It was like from 9 until 3:30 or 4 each day. It was supposed to be like 9 to 5, but
Yeah.
courses never go that long unless you've got like a shit ton of people asking questions. So
Right.
the guy was like setting expectations and he was doing the things. And we do like our first couple of breakouts, and I'm like trying to get, so like he set us up in breakout groups, and those are the breakout groups you went through the entire time. And there was like this entire slide about, as we go through the breakout groups, this is the company that you guys are all thinking about. It's the crunch company. They're a shipping company. They do blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So the first couple of times we broke out, I'm just trying to like let other people happen because the majority of them had not been product owners or product managers. It's two separate things, even though my company treated it as one and the same, or they were just like, man, fuck it, you're both.
Fair.
So I was, and that's one of the things that I figured out when we were going through this is like, there was no delineation in my job. I found out from doing this that I would prefer to be a product owner instead of a product manager. Product managers manage people. Product owners manage the product, or you're responsible for the product.
Yeah.
So technically a product manager would be, a product owner would be dotted line to a product manager. Anyway, nobody cares about that. So I was a little unsure going in, like I'm going to learn so much shit. And I did learn a lot of things that I didn't technically know or whatever. So I go into it, and the first couple of breakouts we have, I'm just like confused as fuck because I'm not sure where everybody's coming from.
Yeah.
But the scenarios that we're talking about, because a lot of times when you hear about agile, it's based on software.
Okay.
So the scenarios that they're giving us lean more towards software than something else. And these people are more like either have never POPM'd, or they want to, or they have, but they're new at it and they're being sent here or whatever. So I learned on day one that I have done POPM. It's not what my job title was. I mean, part of it was, it doesn't matter. So what I learned is that I was a little further along than the people that were in my group. So I was like, I feel like it's my job to kind of sit back and kind of listen to how they do it.
Yeah.
Because once he explained what was happening, I was like, well, I know what an answer would be. It can't be the only answer. So let's see what other people are doing.
Yeah.
The fucking rabbit holes that they took this shit down.
Oh, God.
I was like, day one, I was so exhausted, and it wasn't from the course. It was just from people. The entire course is on Zoom, and they expected you to have your camera on during the group things.
No.
I'm going to show Brandy what actually happened at one point. a conversation is happening. And so I start doing this. And then I realize as I'm doing it that I'm doing it. And I'm like, oh, my head hurts. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm going to go take some ibuprofen. It's in the middle of doing it. This is saying, so I'm rubbing one temple. This is saying, oh my God, how could you be so fucking stupid? And so I grabbed the other one to be like, oh, my head hurts so bad. It's just been a migraine all day long. And then I faded off and like got some ibuprofen.
Oh,
or
good.
pretended to, whatever.
That's
the
fantastic.
second day,
Yeah.
the scenario that they give us is you ship packages. People go online, schedule shipping their package. We provide a standard protection package, standard insurance package, but you can get premium packages, and we need to up the premium package sales from 20% to 40%. So how can we do that?
Yeah.
So they come up with this idea, and I was like, that's a great idea. And then we were supposed to, they'd already told us what the Epic feature was, which is like, this is the master theme.
Yeah.
Make it easier for customers to buy supplemental insurance and make it happen more often. One person would not let go of the fact that they thought we were talking about insuring human beings.
No.
Like, so, I mean, like what you want is a comparison table so you can see like what the insurance would be for you and your partner, for you and children, for you.
No.
No, honey. No, I didn't say honey. I was very nice. I was like, well, what we're actually talking about is insuring packages that you're shipping because the company, the fake company that we're talking about is shipping company. Oh, okay. And yet would still every goddamn time come in with this. And I was like, I feel like you're not hearing me. But let me say it again. At one point, the instructor has joined us. And I was like, I really think that you guys are complicating this. You don't have to have 3 of these things. If the story is if this, then that, then sorry, this is so boring. Hopefully some technical people listen to us. So if this, then that, then what is your test case? Like what proves what you've done?
Right.
So if I do this, this, and this, what is the outcome that I expect to have?
Yeah.
There's only one outcome from what you guys have put in the story. The outcome was I should be able to click on a link
Yeah.
to see a table of comparisons. They're trying to come up with 3 test scenarios. And I was like, there's just one. You build the link and you click on it. Well, we have to have a story for the, no, you have one story. And then I was like, we're in my wheelhouse. One story. How you build it might have more steps, but the story is I should be able to click on a link and see the table. So the acceptance criteria is see the table.
Right.
They argued with me until the instructor was like, I think you guys need to move on from this. This one is done. And I'm like, oh my God. And then they wanted to burn through the rest of them. So I spent 2 days just
Beating your head against a wall.
but also being very reassured about how I learned how to do things, even though I never had any formal training about any of it. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, hell, God damn it. So it was very good. I took that class. I have to take my certification exam this week. But I just haven't come back to work because I kind of feel a little defeated
Yeah.
about the whole thing. But I want the right thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to take something. I want it to be something that I want to do.
Well, I can see how you would feel defeated from getting, not fired from your job, but laid off. But also, I feel like from that class, you should take a little bit of confidence from that, knowing that you're a lot smarter than some of the other people out there.
Oh, I did. Now, if I bottom on the course, if I fucking fail the certification test, I'll be like, God damn, I'm starting all over again.
Jesus.
Oh my God. So I didn't do anything while you were gone. I was just non-productive. I played euchre.
Well,
We played darts. Our
Right.
dart team is in 3rd place, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
However, any other season, we would have been in 1st place.
Yeah. We have some serious,
2 fucking teams that are one drop down from the upper league, which because if you're in the 1st place of your league, you move up a group.
yeah. If you're
If
in the
you're
last place, you go
move down. So we keep getting this one group that we really like and then losing them and then getting them and losing them. I like it when they're in 2nd place because then
Yeah.
we just get to keep them. And really, I don't need a fucking plaque or a mug, which is
No.
all you get for 1st place.
No.
So I take it that your partner wants one from the bar. I don't fucking care.
Nope.
So these 2 teams that we have been playing, and actually I think they're our last 2 teams of the season.
Yeah.
They're whipping our ass. So we're in third place.
Yeah.
And we are more than 30 points behind second place.
Yeah.
And we're doing good.
Yeah.
Because we're like 100 and something points ahead of sixth place.
Yeah.
But we are 30 points behind first place. Normally it's like 12 points.
Yeah.
between.
Usually everybody's pretty close.
No, they fucking blew us out of the water. The group that dropped down
Yeah.
just had a bad season last year.
I feel like this season has been the worst as far as the discrepancy in the points.
But we've done the best we've ever done. This is
yeah.
the best in points our team has ever done. But I just want to fucking slit my wrists every time we have to show up. But I played darts. You were gone. We played darts. It wasn't that fun. Although it was a team we liked with a couple of people we don't like.
Yeah.
But the mom didn't show up. So
Oh, nice.
weirdly, the daughter recognizes how annoying the mom is, but doesn't recognize how annoying she is.
Interesting. I
And
wonder
then-
if she's trying to like self-improve.
I don't know, but your partner's like, I always think she's great. She's really fun. I'm like, I want to fucking punch her in the face.
Yeah.
I've never found her fun in my entire life.
I will say last time I played them, mom was still very bitchy. Daughter, I was indifferent towards.
I was okay with her the last time we played until she told our partner who she played, you have to play like 2 of every fucking
Yeah.
thing that you're in. So they had to play cricket. If you don't know what cricket and darts are, just go fucking look it up. I feel like that's what we're going to have t-shirts to say is drunk bitches be like, just go ahead and fucking look it up. So she comes up to him after losing both matches and tells him, you shouldn't have won. I'm a much better player than you.
All right, that's bitchy.
And I was like, what?
No.
And she goes, well, no, I mean, don't take it the wrong way. I'm just saying that like in any other circumstance, you wouldn't have won against me.
Okay, well, this was the circumstance in which we were playing.
Right.
So,
Bitch, he did
yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And then he was a little drunk, but he was like, whatever. And like everybody else around us was like, kind of, yeah, whatever. And I was like, well, am I being a bitch or are you guys just too drunk to realize what the fuck she said? Because I'm a little peeved.
about that. Yeah.
But anyway, we're ahead of them. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
They're the ones who last year told us, we're not fighting for a trophy. Neither of us are going to come in first. Yes, but I want to come in front of you.
Right.
Because they're also the same team.
I don't give a shit who
They're
we beat. but I
also
wanna
the
beat
same
you.
team that during our first season, first game, we're telling the team, don't quit.
It'll
You
be
should
good.
it'll be better.
Just stick with it.
Nobody fucking said we were quitting, ho. We
Yeah.
just started.
You haven't even played us yet. And it was before we even like threw a dart.
It's because of her mom.
Don't worry how bad you are. It's fine. Just keep playing. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, her mom used to say the same thing to us, so we just all hated them. Anyway, actually, when when her mom was like, "You played against our daughter," and I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And then she said her name, which you guys had told us her name, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I fucking see it now."
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how she's annoyed at you because she's just like you. Anyway, so I played darts. We played with the dogs. I don't think we've done anything super hype. Nope. We went to Kabuki for our anniversary. We had an anniversary. It was our second year anniversary Monday. Oh, funny story about that. We are sitting Wednesday, maybe, of last week, and I'm like, shit. Okay, so we have this to do on Friday. We have this to do on Saturday. I don't think we have anything happening on Sunday. Or no, I wasn't thinking about Sunday. I was just like Friday, Saturday. Do we have something to do on Monday? Did we schedule something for the 17th? Do you have anything on your calendar? And he's like, no, I do not have anything on my calendar. I was like, fuck it. Somebody will let me know that I've missed being somewhere.
Yeah.
And as we're sitting there in silence, moving on from the conversation, he goes, oh, it is our 2-year anniversary. And I was like, oh, fuck. You want to go to Kabuki? And he goes, they're closed on Mondays. Like we found out on my birthday. I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. You want to go Kabuki on Sunday? So then, yeah, we went and had Kabuki. And of course, because I take a medication now, I can't eat that much. But I made my 2 sushi rolls last like
Very nice.
3 meals. I was very happy about it. I don't give a shit. I'll eat sushi. I will eat sushi till I want to vomit. I don't give a shit.
I did have some very good sushi while I was in Seattle.
Good.
Yeah. I was like, we have to have sushi.
You should. There's seafood and shit there.
Well, yeah. And we waited. And we actually ended up having sushi for lunch one day. And then Christy's husband, the gem that he is, he was at work and he texted us and was like, hey, I can get reservations at this sushi place for dinner. Do you guys want to have dinner? And we were like, yeah, sure. What the fuck? We'll We'll have sushi twice. So we had sushi twice in one day. We had no sushi, but then we had it twice in one day.
I don't care.
It was
I'll take it
delicious.
anytime.
Oh, it's so good.
Although I do view sushi as, I know this is like I eat it without everything, but I do view sushi as a wasabi carrying vessel.
I mean,
just
that's
like
fair.
wasabi.
I mean, I love wasabi. I will say though, lunch was good. Dinner was amazing.
Fantastic. Have you been to Kabuki?
I have not been to Kabuki,
Fucking do it.
but the place we had sushi at for dinner, best calamari I've ever had in my entire life,
Nice.
which is saying something because the last time I had the best calamari
Because
in
it
my
looks
entire
like
life
little deep fried
was in
buttholes.
England. It was like the flakiest, crispiest crust on it. It was so good, and the sauce they had wasn't the typical I can't even describe it.
Not the typical cocktail sauce.
Yeah, it wasn't just cocktail sauce. It was.
Do you know I just
amazing.
learned that cocktail sauce is basically ketchup and
Horseradish?
Horseradish.
Yeah, I've known that because my mom has always hated the cocktail sauce that comes standard with any shrimp cocktail, and so what she does is she always has just horseradish at home
So she can make
and
it
ketchup,
spicier.
and she makes her own so that she can make it spicier.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad you guys had that. We had an enjoyable dinner.
yeah.
And there was something I was going to ask you about.
Oh, you know what we didn't address?
What?
We talked about the bottle and then went straight to Seattle.
Oh shit.
And then
Okay,
didn't
so
say
the bottle. We were talking about trans people.
Yeah.
And Franklin, Tennessee sucking
Yeah.
as does most of Tennessee. And
so
then
circling back, there is a lovely bottle of kava sitting in front of us that is rainbow colored because while I was in Seattle, I went to a bakery and me and my two friends that I was visiting were all turning 40 this year. So it was kind of like a 40th birthday sort of a thing. So I bought a bottle because we were buying cupcakes for our birthday and I was like, oh, I have to buy this bottle because it's rainbow colored and it's lovely.
so you're turning 40 this year or 41?
40.
40.
Yeah, we're all turning 40. And so I bought it and it's lovely. And I want to drink it at some point, but also I'm kind of like, I just want to keep the bottle because it's beautiful. It's a rainbow color. They celebrate everything like trans and gay, bi, LGBTQ.
I need
like,
to move out there.
They're just so fabulous. And so this was the other thing I wanted to tell you because I haven't told you this yet, which super excited me. So the very last night that I was in Seattle, my friend Christy, who lives there, her husband has this little bar that he loves to go to that's like, I don't know, 5 blocks from their house. And like we were done for the weekend, right? Like me and Christy.
You're like, fuck it. I wish we could all go home.
We had like that earlier that day. That was the last day we were there. My friend from Columbus had already gone home because she had to go home a day early because she had kids stuff she had to do. And we had gone to a brewery and we went to an Irish pub and had some beer. We went back to the apartment. We were sitting there watching TV and it was just fabulous. And we were in sweatpants. I'd already taken my bra off and it's like, all right, well, her husband was working and he got off work and he really wanted to take us to this little bar around the corner. He really wanted to take me to the little bar around the corner. That's his like spot. So he was getting off work at like 8:15, 8:30. And so I was like, all right. So we went and put pants on, put my bra back on.
I've got a wedgie.
You're fine. So it was like a big deal because like, I put things back on.
Right.
We walked down to this bar and it was also raining outside because
You're
it's
like,
Seattle.
tits up.
Yeah. So we're like getting poured on. We walk down to this bar. We get there before him. We get our drinks and everything else. And we're sitting there and he comes in and sits down. And the thing that happened at this bar was not anything about him, which he is a lovely human being and I love him dearly. And he just wanted us to have a good time like the last night in
Right.
Seattle. Like he just wanted me to have he's really super happy to have me there. And he was like, I just want you to have a good time in Seattle. But we got to the bar and we're sitting there and we're sitting at the bar and there's one dude at the end of the bar with his little notepad and he's like, writing out things and he's like being
Working
his
on
own
his novel.
self. Yeah, he's just doing his own thing, which was super cute. And then there was like a bar full of white dudes, right?
Oh, that's always trouble.
That look like hockey dudes that are like, but a dude sits down with them and like they look at the bartender. The bartender's like, what can I get you? And he ordered something. And then immediately after he ordered something, he was like, I really want to order a Bud Light though. I feel like I should.
Fuck you.
No.
Oh, okay.
In all seriousness, he was like, I feel like I really should order a Bud Light. I really want one. But, they don't have them there. They only had Coors Light and Rainier, which is their like local beer,
Right.
like their light beer, whatever.
I only know about Rainier
Very
because
small.
I watch. I loved Longmire. There
Yeah.
was, I think, in Washington, and
Yeah.
that's all he drank was Rainier.
Yeah. So I was drinking one of those. And like, so he sat down, he was like,
the Bud Light of the West Coast.
I guess I'll have this. He was like, I'd really love to order a Bud Light, but I can't. So I'll have that. And I was like, and it was all in seriousness. I looked at him. I was like, wait, this is the total opposite thing that would happen where I live. Because where I live, they're like, I'll have a Bud Light. Just kidding. They're shit. I want something else. And I was like, I love you people. And he was, and like everybody at the bar was like cheering for him when he was like wanting a Bud Light, but he couldn't get one. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? I don't know what's happening, but I love this.
Yeah, we're in a definite state that outside of this county slash city, Dayton City. I don't know what Miamisburg is, but I'm thinking it's not as blue as it is red.
We're still in Franklin County, but we're
purple?
definitely not we're very purple.
So anyway, that was I don't know. My niece, we went out drinking with my niece. She's going out with us Saturday. She had 4 ciders over a 4-hour period.
Oh God.
She was so drunk. Her tiny little ass. 5% ciders. And she's like, I drink wine. And I'm like, I don't think you drink a lot of it because here we are. But no, at least in that crowd. Oh, I will say the bar that we were at. So I should have ordered Bud Light, but they had another beer that I like. So that sucks about me. But basically Anheuser-Busch owns everything. So it doesn't matter.
It's fine.
But we're there and she is ordering drinks or whatever. I'm just trying to pay attention to where she's going. So like when I go to the bathroom, she comes with me and vice versa. Cause I'm like, I don't know where you're going to be.
You just want to keep track of
We
her.
had to like station my mom at the bar because when my cousin's band was going to go on, when the opening band was going to go on, they take away 2 tables at this bar. And they just happened to be one of the tables we were sitting at. They're like, pay your tab and fucking move. Which I feel like they should just block off a seat at the bar for you then. But they did not. So I was like, hey, 2 open seats, go. And Jordan's like, I can't get Nana over there. And I was like, fucking mom, move. Come back, put your shit down on that bar stool and then come back over and talk to my cousins. But put all your shit. You haven't been in a bar in go. And my niece is like, I'm trying to wrangle her. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta piss. So I go to the bathroom. We can all attest to the fact that I have a hard time paying attention to a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
So I'm back I'm back with my husband and my niece and my mom a good 30, 45 minutes. And I was like, I need to look at, picked up my purse. I'm going through my purse, which is like a giant tote bag. I'm like, look. Honey, can you turn on your flashlight? Look. I just bought this phone.
Oh no.
Like it's a Galaxy
S23. You got the 23.
Ultra. And I was like, where the fuck is my in lilac?
It's so pretty.
I'm panicking. And I was like, oh my God. I know exactly what happened. I went into the bathroom. I set it down. The toilet paper thing.
The toilet paper thing. It's on
so
the
I just
toilet
set
paper.
it down on there because otherwise it falls out of pocket on the floor.
I've done that 1,000
I peed
times.
and I just apparently walked the fuck back out because I was worried about the drunk girl and my mom. So I go up to the bar. I've known the bartender. I've known him since I was 20 years old. And I'm like, hey. And these people are like, you're cutting in line. I was like, I do not want to drink. Just stop. Hey. And I'm like, has somebody turned in a phone? And he's like, I don't know. So he looks at the other 3 bartenders in the bar back. And one of the bartenders like goes over and picks up a phone. And all I see is the purple cover of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, that's it. And literally, I'm not kidding. Everybody sitting around the bar that was hearing me, like, because everybody hears I lost my phone.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, fuck. So bad for you.
That's so bad.
I'm like, do you have my phone? Did somebody turn one in? And they were like, dun, da, 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 and picked it up. And like 40 people in the bar staff, myself, and like 30 other people go, yes! Everybody's so very happy for me, but I was like, I'm fucking stupid. I cannot tell you how many other things that I have I have lost my wallet since then. I'm going to a home soon is what I'm going to tell you. And even if I have full on dementia, please come. Let's record conversations. I won't remember them.
Let's do that.
It's going to get really repetitive for some
It's
of you,
fine.
but it's not much different than what's happened in the past 2 years.
I mean, let's be honest. We get drunk and don't know what we talked about.
But no, I missed you. I missed you very much. So just before we wrap up, what we have gotten away from is you don't know how True Colors Cava Brut taste.
I don't. We're going to chill that and drink it sometime.
What I did try, what we tried today, I tried the original flavor and then I brought the Baja Blast flavor. Hard Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Seltzer. I would say it. What do we say? You could drink it.
You can drink it. I think it's decent.
For ice, it would be better. It's got a weird erythritol taste to it.
Yeah, but
So I'm
I
not
mean,
that happy about
it's
it.
definitely like it's better than some other seltzers I've had.
True. I tried, I don't know how to find this because there was one can in the make your own 6-pack section. It is a Leinenkugel, near and dear to my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Honey lemon light with lemon juice.
I mean, they make amazing summer shandies
Brewed
and
with
this
local
one
honey.
was
Yeah, it's
delicious.
only 4%, but it was really good.
It was really good.
Like you stare at it like this is
And it's
Stuff
a
alcohol
beautiful
in it?
teal color.
It's gorgeous.
It's
I'll
lovely.
take a picture of that before
Lovely
we leave.
can.
And then I have followed that. So I was drinking, it doesn't matter, rum and Diet Dr. Pepper. And then I have followed it up with this lovely Hefeweizen, Christian Moorline Brewing Company of Cincinnati, Ohio.
I was pretty much staying with the, I did some Tanqueray and some ginger ale, Canada
Nice.
Dry ginger ale, because I do not like the Verner's. I'm sorry. I
Fuck
don't like
off.
the tanginess. No,
I love Diet Verner's.
Canada Dry all the way. And also I put some nice little cherry moonshine on top of it to make a little Shirley Temple mix.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So it was a
That's
lovely
good.
little mix for me.
So hopefully we will in May, early June, we will have somebody guesting with us.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about it. Go ahead and follow him or look him up on TikTok. His it's at RevGeek, RevGeek. I didn't realize he was from the Dayton, Ohio area until he posted
Yes.
a photo of this. I kind of like he did something that I was, it was Ren Fair. He was like, we're going to Ren Fest. And I was like, well,
Nice.
fucking everybody comes down here to Ren Fest because
Yeah.
it's the only like, what do you call it? Stationary.
Yeah.
It's
in Ohio.
permanent. It's the
Yeah,
only permanent venue.
Yeah.
So I'd seen him post that and I was like, oh, cool. And then I didn't realize how close to me he was until he posted a picture of the sign outside of the Frisch's Big Boy. Look it up if you don't know what the fuck that is. Shoney's. Frisch's Big Boy in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you're really close to me
Yeah.
because it was like, we have chicken tenders. They're juicy, like JUICEEE. So, yeah. So then he, I commented on a video of his. Like I've kind of always like been like, oh yeah, that's sweet. So he's a minister here in Ohio. And it reminded me, Luther, I think it's Luther. Lutheran, whatever, brewed his
Lutheran.
own beer.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
well, cool.
So we're going to try to hook up with him.
we're going to try and hook up with him, but go out and look for his stuff. It was very cute. He asked like when we were going to have a beer and I'm like, shit, I just never thought that you would want to have a beer with us because we're a raunchy ass show. We are going, that will be a very PG episode.
Yeah. We'll try and contain ourselves.
Yeah. So look forward to that coming in. I think we're going to reach out to some people that we've individually partnered with.
Yep.
They're not going to be so different from our typical wavelength. We
Yeah.
don't want to like, I don't care. I'm just not open-minded about bigotry. So fuck it.
Yep.
I do what I want. It's my own damn show. But otherwise, in the meantime and in between times, where can you find us?
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at DBBL_podcast or Facebook and YouTube at DBBL podcast or our website at DBBLpodcast.com or DBBLpodcast@gmail.com.
Please just find me on Twitter.
Yeah. Just do the Twitter thing.
I handle.
honestly.
I don't fucking post on anything. Find us there and Instagram. I don't do much with except for post stories.
Yeah. I don't do anything with any of the things.
I'm very lazy. Mainly, you just find out what I'm doing during the day on Twitter. But
that's
whatever,
true.
it's
I get
fun.
notifications and I look occasionally.
Right. So the next time that we are together, we will be talking about the Time Warp Prom.
Yes.
We'll be talking about your 2-week trip around the country.
Yeah. My work trip, which will be super boring because honestly, I'm looking forward to it for it's a relaxing time.
Yeah. So that's and depending on the timing, we might be talking about your birthday murder mystery
Maybe.
dinner because We apologize. There's just a lot of shit happening now.
Yeah.
We realize that we've taken some really long breaks. We appreciate you sticking in there with us. We hope to speed things up once we get through the middle of May. It might go much better.
April and May is a shit show. So once we get through some major things, then hopefully we're going to be on here a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love the fact that you joined us tonight. And please come find us again.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yay.
Yay.
And I see levels, and that's so good.
Awesome. Good times. Good times.
Okay, I'm going to be quiet, and I want you to just talk.
Man kills parents days after prison release. Nick Leahy admits he slept on the couch amid Vanessa Leahy something.
Yep, we're definitely getting you. Oh my God, what the fuck?
I don't know.